So one of my clients unfortunately passed away on April 6th. He was in his early 40s. And I went to his funeral today. And obviously everybody hates funerals. I'm a pretty emotional guy. Obviously don't like to be emotional in public, so I especially hate them. But every time I've gone to a funeral, this weird calmness comes over me after the fact as I'm driving in my truck, because you just realize like that's going to be me one day, or that's going to be my mom or my dad or somebody. And you just realize that the problems you think you have are such small problems. They pale in comparison to just dying at 41, 42 years old. So I wanted to share that, and hopefully if you envision yourself being in that place, it just gives you some perspective to your life. But anyways, here I am in Surrey Central today. I'm obviously on a pretty bad street of Surrey Central, but I wanted to show you guys the growth and development that has been taking place in this city. And although Surrey Central has a very rough, bumpy ride ahead of it in the next 18 to 24 months, why I'm still overall very positive on this pocket. Because if you know Surrey Central and you know what it used to look like 10 years ago and how far it's come from 10 years ago, you know it's not going to look how it looks right now forever. So look at all of the growth and development that's been happening. Pretty much none of this was here 10 years ago. Pretty much none of it, right? And this is just one pocket. Obviously, I'm not a very tall guy, so you can't see everything. You know, King George Hub is just on the other side of this down there, which is basically like a mini Brentwood. It's like, it's got like a Brentwood vibe to it. On the bottom of it, there's like places to eat and little stores and shops and cafes and stuff like that on the bottom of this integrated community that's basically just 4 or 5 towers, right? I'm gonna try to get a better look of the entire city for you guys, because if you're from Ontario and you've been hearing about Surrey Central but you've never been here or you haven't seen the place in a long time, it has changed night and day. Like obviously, you go down the alleys in Surrey Central, it still looks like shit. Like look at this, garbage everywhere, barbed wire fence. But that's what they're doing. They're getting rid of these and they're replacing them with that, right? On almost every single block in Surrey Central, all these old commercial buildings are coming down and they're getting replaced with these brand new towers that have, crazy amount of amenities and things to do, co-working space, offices, pools, and everything in between, right? So even those 2 little commercial joints right there are boarded up, so those are coming down. There was obviously some more along the side of them that have all come down. And that's basically all Surrey Central was that 10 years ago, right? So you can kind of see off in the distance more towers. That's King George Hub, and that is the better side of Surrey Central to be on, right? So once you go like south of 104, that's kind of where you want to be, because you have Surrey Central Mall right there. You have SFU, like you can kind of see SFU is that glass tower right there. You have SFU. That's the Civic Plaza Hotel. Beautiful building. They're having some HVAC issues right now as far as I know, but it's a beautiful luxury tower on the inside. The lobby is amazing, right? It's not something you would expect to see in Surrey. So, the south side of Surrey Central is the side that I'd recommend you be on. As you go north, you get into an area called Gateway, which is the rougher side of Surrey Central. You're closer to Patello Bridge, closer to New West, but aesthetically, it's just not a very nice area at all. Like this garbage and all this shit you see here, there's a lot more of it down there. But here's the thing, right? You know, I find it so funny that people will say, oh, there's too much like homelessness in Surrey Central. It's a dump, right? When you have an entire street in Vancouver that the city has basically just donated away, right? I'm talking about East Hastings, obviously, right? Like, do you guys honestly think Surrey has a worse homeless problem than downtown Vancouver? It doesn't, right? Any West Coast big city you go in, there's going to be a lot of homelessness, right? Because it's easier living conditions, right? The weather's not as harsh, easier to survive, you know what I mean? But yeah, beautiful day. Just wanted to kind of come out here and show you guys the what the skyline is looking like these days in Surrey Central. And you know, the thing I love about the product that they're building here now is, like I said, it's not just a residential tower with 300 units. They're actually thinking about how can people live here and really enjoy where they live. And that's why they're adding all these amenities: yoga studios, gyms, pools, saunas, hot tubs, rooftop decks with barbecues, golf simulators, all these things. And they're building them in a way where they're actually building them integrated into communities. So Parkway is another one. Parkway is that building right there. So there's Parkway 1 and 2, and that's another integrated community style tower complex. And they're doing quite a few of them here in Surrey Central, right? Whereas a lot of the tower product in Vancouver, because it's already 20 years old, 15 years old, these aren't things that they thought about when they built them, right? So a lot of the product that's coming up, although it's going to be located in Surrey, in my opinion, is going to be better than the product that is currently in Vancouver. So anyways, thought I'd come on here, share that story, give you guys a glimpse at the skyline. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to chat with me about buying or selling in the Valley, make sure you book a time to chat using the link below. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.